Can you hear that, Mike? Yeah, you can hear that, Mike. That's weird. For some reason, uh, this thing doesn't like my other microphone. Okay. Well, it looks like for now, until I figure out what the problem is, we're going to have to go with this one mic. That isn't my good mic either. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. All right. So we'll just mute this so I don't hear myself talking because that'll make me crazy. And then I guess we can turn the music back on. There we go. All right. Hey, Mr. Coop. How you doing, brother? I just got done watching your stream. Great. Brilliant as always. Big fun. Thank you. Georgie made that for me. I like the blunt. So right now we're just chilling out looking at the crypto bubbles. This is a website that I like to go to and just check market trends because it's really easy just to go here and just check these market trends and see what they're up to. And I really like that at a glance. It's way easier than staring at the charts all day long. So as you can see, everything is literally in the green. There's no red showing, which is a good thing. That means crypto is off the charts. Looks like Bitcoin has hit a new high. And actually, let me go over and switch screens. And focus it. Let's go there. Guys. So as you guys can see, Bitcoin $111,000 per coin. Now, could you imagine being the guys that were collecting that stuff when it was only like a nickel a piece, and you could get literally thousands of them in a day, mining them on a cheap miner at home? If they held on to that, would it be worth today? Yeah, that's all right, Coop. We'll try to do some stuff like that for sure. And I really do appreciate all you and Paul and Chris do for me and send people my way. I really do appreciate that. Just hopefully I'll have enough to bring to the table where I make it exciting and entertaining and educational for everybody. So, but I do really appreciate all the stuff you guys have done for me. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get this whole streaming stuff worked out so I can start streaming the games that I actually want to play. Because right now the only game that I have that I can play, it seems like on here, is Minecraft. And nothing wrong with Minecraft, but it is what it is. So let's scroll up here to the Fear and Greed Index. And what the Fear and Greed Index is it's just kind of how people are feeling about the market right now. Are they happy about it? Are they upset? Are they scared that they think bad things are going to happen? Or are they being really greedy and they expect good things to happen? So it's 73. It's in full greed right now, which is driving the prices of everything up, which is good for me. I'll take it. Here's my baby right here. This is where I've got a lot of my money staked, is in this one coin here called XRP. We'll take a quick look at that. It's going for $2.43. And she's just climbing. I hope that this coin eventually makes it to $1,000 per coin. That'd make me really happy. It would also make me a millionaire. So let's hope that happens. Stock market's going kind of nuts today too. It's looking good. Everything's looking good. So if you're into making money, this is a good time to be alive, because the old Donald Trump is getting it done. He is fixing the economy for sure. Well, for me, he is anyway. Some people might disagree and take a negative look at it, but I'm all positive with today's economy. So if you put $100 into it, how well do you think it will do? Well, if you put $100 in, Coop, like I said, I can't guarantee anything. I can't look into the future or anything, but XRP is poised to be it's going to overtake Bitcoin one day in the number one spot, in my honest opinion. So it's got a long way to go, but I think you can do it. And if it does, well, $2.43, there's going to be people in the future, they're going to wish that they had been able to get it when it was sitting at $2.43. All right, so let me go back to that. Hold on, Coop. Huh. I don't want to hide the chat overlay. I like the chat overlay. Huh. All right. Yeah, I got to work on that. I also have to work on like tags and stuff like that, Coop. I know that for a fact, for sure. I got to work on that stuff. And I got to work on figuring out how to get the games to play that I want to play, because I've got over 200 games on Steam. I've got some really cool games that I love to play. So I do need to work on that for sure. All right, well, let's get back to the markets then. Let's get back to crypto bubbles, because they're kind of chill. Oh, hello, Mrs. Coop, Mama Coop. Thanks for hanging out. I love the artwork that you guys do. That's for sure. That's one thing that I was never gifted with, is artistic talent. It's not a thing for me, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's go back to crypto bubbles. There we go. Trump coins up 11.9%. That's crazy. A friend that got into Trump coin back in the day, he sent me a message. He likes to look out for me. So he thought he was going to help me out. And he was like, dude, get Trump coin. And Trump coin was like real cheap. At that point, it was like 50 cents or something like that. And he told me to get it, and it all possible cost is avoiding that coin. But it went all the way up to like $75 that one day. So it went from like 5 cents to $75 in one day. And I told him, because he told me he got it, I was like, boy, you better sell that right now. Take that profit, put it in your pocket, and run away. And he did, which was lucky for him, because that very next day it dropped by like 80%. So yeah, you got to be really cautious with the stuff like Trump coin, because when he leaves office, I hate to say it, but I can see that coin just taking a huge dump. The only reason it's doing any good right now is because he's in office. So that's one. I mean, I'm not telling anybody to stay away from anything, but very cool. I hope so. Coop says that there's a big group following me. I hope so, Coop. And I hope they want to learn. Hey, Georgie. Good to see you, Georgie. Very good to see you. Actually, you know what? Let's take advantage of this for a minute. I think I have to do it. Yeah, I do. Is Chris in here yet? Are you around, Chris? So last night I was watching Redneck Mafia and Lady Jen, and I forget the name of the lady they had on with her last night, but I heard right at the end of the stream before they were getting ready to cut it off, she said she wanted to hook up with me and talk about some stocks, I guess, that she might be interested in or had ideas on. And I am totally down with that. If you guys have stock questions, ask away, because I can help you with that for sure. I'm going to add a couple of you guys as mods if you don't mind. If I had anybody as a mod and they don't want that position, just let me know on Coop's Discord and I'll take you off. But I'd like to have a couple of few mods just in case. Like I said, the only problems I really think that I might have are scammers that get in here and try to scam the people that are watching my videos, which would be a horrible thing. Because why anybody would do that is just beyond me. It's horrible. Scammers. I can't stand scammers. Make your own money. The time and effort that people take to scam people, if you just took that time and put it into something positive, you could make your own money, and then you wouldn't be, that kind of person. Oh, I did have to do it, Georgie. I need mods. Oh, there's Chris. All right, let me get Chris real quick, too. Oh, I see him. There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Chris. All right, guys. So let's talk about the markets. Why are the markets pumping? Well, the crypto markets are pumping for a few different reasons right now. Okay. One, people are really excited about what's going to happen after these tariffs come down. Because once these tariffs come down, all the markets are going to go crazy, right? So right now is a really good time to position yourself and get yourself ready for the future. That's important. Positioning. It's all about positioning, right? So when you're buying stocks or crypto or anything like that, the most important thing is buy low and sell high. Well, those are two important things, aren't they? It's not just one, it's two. So buy low, sell high. That's what everybody wants to do, right? So what I do is called dollar cost averaging. I go in and I'll start buying something at 5 cents. And then let's say it goes up to, $1, right? I'll probably stop buying it at $1 and wait for it to come back down in price just a little bit. But the whole time I'm just dollar cost averaging, right? So it doesn't matter if I catch the absolute bottom of a market or the top of a market, because I'm in a medium range on everything I buy, it seems like, which works for me, because trying to catch the bottom of a market is like trying to catch a falling knife. You'll get hurt. You can really get screwed. I've seen guys that try to time bottoms and they buy up and they're all happy. Hi, Susan. Thanks for joining us. So, like I said, catching markets at the absolute bottoms or absolute tops, that's a really tough game to play. I look at the markets all day long. That's pretty much what I do. So I just sit here and watch the markets, watch for trends. Again, like I said, that's why I like crypto bubbles, because it just keeps me looking at the market trends. And market trends are a big thing. In the stock market or the crypto market, it doesn't matter. Markets trend one way or the other almost always. So it's either an up market where everything's going up, and it's like, a rising tide raises all ships, right? So, excuse me. So if the market's going up for one thing, it should be going up for everything, hopefully. There's going to be exceptions to that. There might be, things that it's not going to hit, but, for the most part, that's a true statement that a rising tide raises all ships and it'll bring everything up with it. So if you get good at spotting market trends, that's really important. That's what makes somebody a good stock trader, is being able to spot that, which takes time. This is really easy for me watching these crypto bubbles, because if you look at the regular charts, which is what I'm usually focused on, or the regular charts, let me go back to that again. And just so you guys know, this is coinmarketcap.com, which is a really good chart. You can go to any coin on here, any coin you're interested in. Let's pick XRP, since that is one of my faves for right now anyway. And when we actually click on it, it brings it up like this so that you can get a wider picture of that actual token or coin, right? And then if we go up here to where it says all time, that's a really important thing to do. Because if you're looking at this one day and you're like, oh my gosh, look, it's all the way down here, and then finally it came back up here towards the end of the day, right? And that looks like a pretty wild chart. Like, there's a lot of movement in this coin, right? But if you back up, and let's look at the all-time. If you look at the all-time, it really doesn't move that much. It has these bursts of up. But for the most part, it really doesn't move that much. It's always pretty much moving sideways. And that's another thing when you're investing. I don't care if it's crypto, I don't care if it's stocks. A lot of times it is just straight boredom. That's why I actually like crypto more than I do stocks. It excites me more because I've always got something to do. I'll be up trading crypto at 3-4 o'clock in the morning like a maniac, just sitting here trading crypto. Whereas you cannot do that with the stock market, because the stock market's only open between 9 and 5 on the East Coast. So yeah, that doesn't really help. Doesn't scratch the itch, because I need it to be running all the time to make me happy. Which the stock market doesn't, but the crypto market does. So let's get back to what I was talking about with trends. All right, so right now everything's trending up. Everything's looking good. Whenever you're looking at a coin that you're thinking about investing in, I would suggest coming to CoinMarketCap and looking at it like this. Go to the all-time on it and see how much, what the ranges are for the coin, where it's been, where's the high it's been, what's low it's been, and where it's at. But what you also want to do is be aware of other things, like the volume. So in the last 24 hours, $3.79 billion for the volume. That's how much has been traded in XRP just in the last 24 hours. Kind of put your head around that. 3.79 billion. That's a huge number. It gives you the total supply, which is 99.98 billion. But that is not the circulating supply. There's only about half of that in circulation. The rest of the coin is being held in escrow in an account. And they plan on gradually releasing it into the market. so that it doesn't shock the market. Because if they were to dump the other 50 whatever billion of those, it would crash XRP's price dramatically just by adding that much XRP to the existing supply that quick. But if you gradually increase it, maybe a few million here and a few million there you add, it won't affect the price hardly at all. So other things you can do on this website, and this is something that everybody should do before you invest in anything, do your research. And I mean anything. So recently I was going to get into a real estate deal, and I was going to put some money into it. And then I didn't pull the trigger on it. I was like, let me wait. And it was an investment company that was going to buy, I think it was around 20 houses and then fix them up and rent them. And it sounded like a really good deal. And why I liked it is because I actually know the guy that's doing it. And he's a workaholic. He's kind of like me. I go 24/7 trying to make money on the markets, right? That's just 24/7 for me. And this guy is kind of the same way, where he just is constantly working the markets and constantly coming up with new ways to make money. So I really liked his idea and the approach that he had towards this thing. But I didn't invest. I held back. I was like, I was going to give it a year or 6 months to a year and watch him for a year and see how the progress went on it. And I'm happy I did that because he waited too long. He didn't time the market right for buying the houses, and he ended up spending way more than he should have to buy the houses. So he's already down. He's in the red already. So I'm just really happy I didn't invest. And I took the time to investigate. And that's what saved me. Because otherwise I would have dumped money in and I'd be down money right now. But lucky for me, that didn't happen. So, like I said, always do all the research that you can on everything, right? And one way to do that is if you go here, you'll see what the white paper summary is for this coin right here. If you click on it, we'll do the beginner. Yeah. It just gives you an overview, a rough breakdown of the coin. It tells you here the Ripple protocol. Ripple is the name of the company that manages XRP, is the best way I can explain it to you, right? And what they want to do is take over for Swift, which is really, really ambitious. If you guys know what Swift is, anytime, or if you don't know what Swift is, anytime that you send money from one country to another country, it goes through Swift. And what they do is they make sure that you're not a terrorist or you're not a gangster and you're trying to launder money. That's what Swift's in place for. So they're getting ready to switch to a brand new system for moving money around the world. And let me think the name of it really quick. ISO, yeah. ISO 20022 is the new standard. So the new standard for moving money across the world is ISO 20022. Any coin, any cryptocurrency that is going to be moved now from country to country is going to have to be ISO 2022 compliant. There are only 2 coins in the world right now that are ISO 22 compliant. And that is XRP, which is the coin we're looking at right now. And then there's another one called Stellar Lumens. They are also ISO 2022 compliant. And what I think is going to happen, now I could be wrong about this. Now keep in mind, everything I tell you guys is just based on my experience following the markets. Okay. I'm no expert. So do not buy or sell anything that I tell you unless you've done your own research and you agree with me that it's something you'd want to invest your money in. So always do your own homework. Never trust the words coming out of my mouth or anybody else's mouth until you've done that research for yourself. But if we go down through here, it's telling you that Ripple's a protocol. It's a revolutionary payment system that makes sending money across the globe as easy as sending an email. It solves the big challenges of traditional finance networks by using a unique consensus method that's both fast and secure. Think of it like a super efficient digital ledger that everyone can trust, but no single person controls. Since its inception, it has evolved into one of the leading enterprise blockchain solutions for cross-border payments, with hundreds of financial institutions now using their technology. So, to me, deciding what I want to do to make that decision, like, is this a good coin? Should I go after this coin? That right there is huge to me. That means that this coin actually has a purpose. It's not a meme coin, like Dogecoin, for instance, right? Dogecoin's a meme coin. Everybody loves it. I get that. A lot of people have it. I understand that. But it's still only ever going to be a meme coin unless they do something else. But I doubt they're going to, because they've had all this time to do stuff and they haven't. So why would they do it now? You want, especially with crypto, in my opinion, any crypto that you buy should have a purpose for it, right? Other than the fact that it's cool sounding or their logo is cool looking. So something that's going to be used globally, that's pretty important. That gives this coin purpose. Same thing with Stellar, which you can bet I've got a bunch of that too. But these are the types of things that you really need to pay attention to when you're going to invest in a coin or digital asset. Does it have a use case scenario? Why are people going to actually buy this? And that's important. So make sure you do that. Stock market's a little different, right? Because stock markets, those businesses, they actually have assets most of the time, right? So now you got to take all their assets and figure out their assets. What are their assets worth if the company was to collapse? Can you get your money back if you're invested? And probably not, because let me tell you a nasty little thing. When businesses go bankrupt, they pay the debtors first. So the people they owe money to get paid first, right? Or any kind of judgment that a court makes, that gets paid first, right? And at the very, very bottom of the list, that bottom rung on the ladder, those are the investors. So if that money's all gone before it gets to the investors ain't getting nothing, not a darn thing, right? So the stock market is maybe a little bit of a safer play arguably a safer play than cryptocurrencies, but you can still equally get destroyed in the stock market. Put all your money into one thing and then have that crash, right? Like Amazon right now, that's the big thing, right? Everybody would love some Amazon stock. I would love some Amazon stock. I really did look at it back when it was just that reader, when they were doing the book reader things. And I thought about investing in it. And then I was like, nah, it's such a niche item that who's going to buy it? And now I really wish I had. As many times as they've split the stock since then, wow, I could have made a ton of money. Hold on, guys, real quick. I'm going to take off my sweatshirt. It's a little hot in here now. All right, that's much better. Now I'm not sweating. So let's go look at Stellar. That was the other coin I was telling you guys about. So any coin you want to look up something, you just go up here to this search function, and there we go. There's Stellar, because I look at it all the time. So Coop, you were asking if XRP was a good deal or like that. Well, that's going for $2 and something cents right now, 240 or whatever. And you can buy Stellar XLM for 30 cents a piece. So you can get a heck of a lot more of it than you can XRP. Now, is it going to do as good as XRP? I don't know. Time will tell. But let's look at their white paper. That means, one person to another person. Decentralized network or stellar.org. The network officially launched in 2015 with the purpose of connecting the world's financial systems and ensuring a protocol for payment providers and financial institutions. The platform is designed to move financial resources swiftly and reliable at a minimum cost. Stellar links people, banks, payment processors, and allow users to create, send, and trade multiple types of crypto. So if you see, that's a lot like XRP, right? They're basically trying to do the same thing. Now, I'm not really worried about that because there doesn't have to be one winner and one loser, right? They can all be equally winners. So the fact that XRP is probably a bigger company than Stellar, I'm not really worried about that because that could easily flip. So, these are the type of things that you want to consider when you're making these decisions, right? So you want to tell me or no? All right, Stellar token unlocks. Oh, yeah, let's look at that. All right, so how much is in escrow? 17% of it's in escrow. Okay. It's got a market cap of 9.36 billion. 15 billion of it has already been bought up. 9 billion. Huh. All right, what else we got here? Volume the last 24 hours was $265.71 million. So definitely not moving as much as XRP is. Total supply, 50 billion. So there are less. It's about half of the supply of XRP. So this coin will actually go up in price faster than XRP just because there's half of them as opposed to XRP. So again, in my opinion, which means as much as you want it to, I'm not telling you to buy anything again. Stellar's a really good buy, and I wouldn't avoid it, that's for sure. I'm not avoiding it. I'm definitely getting it. So these are the kind of things that you want to look at when you are picking coins that you might want to buy. Cardano. That's another one we can look at really quick. Give me a second. All right. So volume the last 24 hours, 1.13 billion. That's good. That's really nice. It's going for 80 cents a piece, 80 cents a coin. Now, Cardano is proof of, I don't think it's proof of stake. It might be actually proof of stake. Let's see. Let's read the white paper and find out real quick. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on now. Stupid. Here we go. All right, so Cardano is a groundbreaking blockchain platform that uses proof of stake technology. Okay, so this is a different type of coin. It uses proof of stake to make decisions like on what the company's going to do in the future. So everybody that owns a little bit of it has a vote. It's kind of like a proxy vote, right? That's the easiest way to explain how that works. That's kind of the way you have to think about that's the easiest way to describe it. It'd be like a proxy vote. So anyway, let's see. Technology to create more sustainable and accessible financial system. It stands out for its research, first approach, and scientific philosophy, making it highly secure and energy efficient. The platform aims to provide reliable financial services to everyone, including those without access to traditional banking. Since its inception, it has evolved into one of the leading blockchain platforms, processing millions of transactions while maintaining its commitment to sustainability and academic rigor. So, what they want to do with Cardano is like replace the banking system in Africa and other developing nations that don't have a really solid financial platform in their country, I guess would be the best way to describe that. They just, they don't have a real central bank or anything like that, like big countries do. So what Cardano plans on doing is going in to those countries, those underserved countries, and provide banking to them. So this isn't going to be a global from one country to another, although it could be used for that. This is more for using in a country. So like a country like Africa would just accept Cardano as their main payment method, and everybody will start paying by phone with Cardano. So I like Cardano. It's at 80 cents a coin right now, 80.42. Yesterday it was around 75 cents a coin. So it's gone up about 5 cents in a day. But you earn interest when you hold Cardano, which is a really cool thing because you're making money on it. So just holding it in your wallet, it's like putting money into a high yield checking account or a high yield savings account. About that same type of thing. You're going to get interest on it. But they don't call it just holding it. They call it staking it. You stake it for a period of time. Now, how I have my Cardano staked, it stays in my main safe wallet. I don't have to move it anywhere. So as long as that money stays in my account, I'll make money. Oh, you're struggling with your tiny man. What's he up to, Georgie? I might be a little bit behind. I'm going here and look at y'all's messages. All right. Yep. Looks like we're all caught up on chat. No worries there. So I really like Cardano. It's another coin that I have and I buy a lot of. Do you guys have any questions about any coin that you've heard of that you want to maybe invest in? Being a monster is, that's what kids do. I have 2 nephews. Believe me, I know the pain is real. Until they hit about 10 years old. Oh my goodness, they were something else some days. Ooh. And then one of them would get the other one mad, and then they would just stay fighting all day long between the 2 of them. That's kids for you, man. So anyway, like I said, anybody got any questions about any crypto or any crypto related to or any stock market, anything like that, throw them at me. Throw them beautiful questions at me. I will try to answer them the best I can. Let's go back. Let's look at some other stuff. Let's go look at my favorite coins. All right. This is not my favorite coin right here. Solana. Dog. Staying away from this thing for sure. Don't ever let anybody talk you into buying this. I could be wrong. It could go to $1 million a coin one day. I don't think so. It's trash. In my opinion. Let's talk about stupid people for a minute, actually. All right. What is my safest investment? All right. So if you really wanted to make the safest investment you can, I'd say, in my opinion, XRP would definitely be one of the safest. Bitcoin, obviously, that's a huge one. That's so safe, it's insane. So Bitcoin, XRP, those are 2 that I would definitely consider really safe. And right now, you know what? Thank you, Coop, because that was a really good question. Right now, Congress is getting ready to enact a whole bunch of new laws regulating crypto. So that's something that's kept me kind of holding back from investing in a lot of other stuff right now, because I want to see where they're going to come down on things. Because honestly, I don't think it's going to be really good for the meme coin market when Congress gets done with them, the new rules that they're going to put in place. I think it's really going to affect the meme coin market. And by meme coin, I mean coins that don't really have a utility. There's just no utility to them at all. There's no use case scenario for them. They're just a really cool name and a really cool picture for their coin or whatever. Their symbol or whatever is cool looking. Those are meme coins. Now, can they become extremely popular and make a lot of money? Sure, 100% they can, right? Hey, Muppet, what's up, Greg? Greg of Scots. The Greg of Scots. What's up, Greg? I'm so happy to see you in here, buddy. Sorry, I had to cough and I didn't want to be like stupid, you know who. So let's talk about stupid people. All right. I think we all know somebody that might have gotten, let's say, $50,000 almost a year ago now, right? If you had taken that $50,000 and stuck it into something making any kind of yield, you could have made thousands of dollars. Giving back the 50,000 and still ended up way ahead. So I don't get it. I don't get how those people can be that stupid to hold on to that money. Probably didn't hold on to it though. It probably got spent because let's see, if I had money like that sitting around and I had my own business, I probably would have taken that money and blown it on stuff in my business, like I'm sure probably happened. Especially when you're getting stuff that comes in on gift cards, especially Home Depot gift cards. When you have a business that you're doing repairs and stuff like that, you take those cards and instead of putting them as to what they were intended for, you buy stuff for your own business and pocket that money. Not saying anything like that did happen, but I could see it happening. Oh, yeah, they are stupid. I did the math on that the other day. Let's see. I don't know. Hold on. Yeah. Let me hold up. I'm going to do some math really quick off screen. Let's see how much money I could have made them. Yeah. So I could have easily made them $3,000 in that year. And that would have been on some totally safe stuff. So they could be $3,000 ahead right now. Actually, I could probably made them $6,000 on some pretty safe stuff. So they could have made $6,000, returned the $50,000 or used the $50,000 for what it was intended for, and held on to $6,000 free cash, basically. And nobody would have been the wiser since they held it for so long anyway. But they did because they're stupid. Stupid people. What did they do with it? God only knows. But $6,000 off of $50,000, that ain't bad. It's a pretty good return on your money. Let's see, Greg. Oh yeah. Let's see, what's it up to, Greg? Hold up. Let's go check that really quick. Let's go look at Bitcoin. You can't go wrong with Bitcoin, that's for sure. $111,000. Beautiful. I'll have to go check one of my accounts when we get off of here to see what mine's up to, because I have a good little chunk of Bitcoin. Now, think about it like this also, guys. Things like Bitcoin. Let's look at the $78.4 billion worth of trading went on with Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. That's insane. So look here, the max supply on Bitcoin is only 21 million Bitcoin. That is it. They're saying that there's 19.8 million left, right, of it in the circulating supply. But that's not true. It's less than 19 million of them. That's for sure. So in the future, there is not enough Bitcoin. There is literally not enough Bitcoin for every millionaire and billionaire in the world to have one Bitcoin. There just isn't enough of it. There never will be. It is a finite supply. So if you think about it, and you were to spend a little over $1,000 right now on crypto or on Bitcoin, and you got, that would be basically what, 1% of a Bitcoin, you would be holding more Bitcoin than future billionaires and millionaires will be able to hold in the future. It is just it's a numerical fact. You can't avoid it. There are going to be millionaires and billionaires in the future they're going to look at you and drool because you had 1% of a Bitcoin and they can't get it. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm holding my Bitcoin. I will sell my liver or my kidneys before I will sell Bitcoin. That ain't going to happen. And I'm constantly adding to my Bitcoin as well. So, yeah, Coop. Yeah. I don't even know what to say about those idiots. That is, they obviously don't know how to manage money. That's a problem a lot of people have. I used to be that way. So back in the day, I made a lot of money. If I had invested all the money that I made, or a good chunk of it, I'd be retired right now and living the good life. But I didn't. Like everybody else, I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't think about it. I had misconceptions in my head. Like back in the day, in order to get a brokered account for selling stocks and stuff like that, you had to be able to invest $25,000 to get anybody to even look at you. Greg, no, Greg. So you can buy Bitcoin as little as $10 worth of it at a time. And that's the way I would do it. So Greg said, don't you need like $500 or more for a piece of Bitcoin? But no. So Bitcoin is actually broken up into what are called Satoshis. And a Satoshi, if you want to think about what it is, it's like a penny, all right? It is the smallest fraction. It's called a Satoshi. The reason why they call it a Satoshi is because the guy that invented blockchain technology and Bitcoin is a guy named Satoshi Nakamura. Not a real name, it's a fake name. I think I know who Satoshi Nakamura is, but it's a fake name. So how Bitcoin works, or any cryptocurrency works, is they're broken down into what are called Satoshis. And a Satoshi is the smallest way you can measure that coin. That's the smallest little increment of it, right? So you can buy just one Satoshi of Bitcoin or two Satoshis of Bitcoin. So it'd be like buying 2 pennies worth of Bitcoin. Maybe you can buy 5 pennies worth of Bitcoin. Now they're more than a penny, or less than a penny, depending on the coin. But it's very fractional. So you can absolutely buy fractions of Bitcoin. You do not have to invest $500. So these are all misnomers, man. This is all stuff people think. And it's the same thing with the stock market, like I was saying. Back when I was in my 20s, and I was, big time into stocks and stuff back then too, but I just didn't mess with it because people told me you need $20,000, $25,000 before a broker will even sit down and talk with you. And at that time, there was no way that a private person could go just buy stocks that I knew of anyway. And to tell you the truth, I don't even know if it was possible back then to buy just 1 or 2 shares of stock. I'm sure it was, but I wouldn't have known how to do it. But now there are a lot of banks even where you can buy stocks directly through the bank and buy fractions of the stock. So right now, let's see. Let me think of one. Well, let's go with Amazon, right? Hold on, let me check the price on Amazon really quick. Let's check that price. All right. So Amazon right now is selling for, here we go. Let's Open that up so y'all see it too. Oh no, I did it on the wrong thing. It's all right. So right now Amazon's around $200 a share, right? Well, you don't have to buy a whole share of Amazon. You can now buy fractions of a share. So every week you put $20 into Amazon, and a few months down the road you got a whole one. Hey, Lady Jen, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody being here. I just want to make that clear. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I know that my first 10 streams were almost a nightmare. But thank you for bearing with me and sticking with me and still coming to my streams. I do appreciate that, all of you. So, all right. So like we discussed, you can buy shares of any stock now for small amounts of money, probably about $10. And you can buy cryptocurrencies starting at around $10. They're not going to sell you just one little piece, 5 cents, 10 cents, something like that. You're dealing with a broker. So they're going to have to sell you enough where they can actually get money for their fee. So it's going to be at least $10 with most places anyway. Might be a little higher. Some might be 15, 20. But you can definitely I know on crypto.com, you can buy as little as $10 worth of a coin. So you can buy your Bitcoin $10 at a time and get a whole Bitcoin. It'll take you a minute, but you can do it. Or you can do what I do and get it all for free. That's the way I did it. But that then would take effort. It definitely takes effort to get that much Bitcoin for free. As much as I got, it takes a lot of effort. Took 2 years, 3 years worth of effort. So, yeah. All right. So, any other questions, guys? Ring them at me. Throw them out there. I'll answer them. Does anybody in here have a favorite coin that they look at? Or a stock? Does anybody have a stock that they really like? There's lots of them out there. Look something up while we're waiting for you guys. Oh, yeah. All right. So let me switch my screen to that. All right, so let's look at Tesla. That's one of my favorite stocks. Tesla. So, just to show you how much money you can make if you pay attention to the markets, right? About a month ago, Tesla was selling for about $230, I want to say, per share. Because of the craziness that was going on, people burning the Teslas and stuff like that. So the price went down to $230, and now it's back up to $345.20. So just a month ago, if you had bought a few shares of Tesla, you'd be up big time right now, over $100 per share. So there you go. So just because prices are high right now doesn't mean they'll remain high. Things happen, and you can get really good stocks at really good prices if you just pay attention and watch the markets and keep up with the ebb and flow of the market. You can make some really good buys, and that's what I do. I study the charts, I study the markets, and then I'm just ready to hit them as soon as I can. And like I said, tools like this one right here make it really easy to do that. Back to the crypto bubbles. I love this thing. So relaxing to watch the crypto bubbles. Can you just steal my wallet? Good luck with that. You'd have to be able to figure out 12 completely random words. And yeah, good luck with that. But like I said, you can do it yourself. It's not hard to do. I've got all my crypto, for the most part, for free. So now I do invest actual cash into it as well, but most of it I got for free, 100%. Because of my health problems, I wasn't able to work for a few years. So I had zero money coming in. There was no money. I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw her out of. I don't know if I should have said that. I might get in trouble with the YouTube gods, but yeah, that's the fact. I didn't have any money. And I wanted my position to change. I'm not just going to sit there and be poor to be poor. You know what I mean? If I can make something happen, I will, to better my life. And that's what I decided to do, is just start investing. I took the money that I got for free, because you can only usually get like a lot of really crappy coins for free on the internet. And then I traded those. So I'm getting coins for free, and then I'm trading them for coins that are going to be worth a lot, hopefully in the future. And I just keep doing that. Now, so let's say I got Shiba Inu coin that's dirt cheap, right? And I get a bunch of that. And then I trade that for Dogecoin. And then I get a bunch of that. And then I change that for Bitcoin. And I get a bunch of that. That's kind of how you trade up. And that really is what it is. It's just trading up. How do you trade up? Well, that's when you have to pay attention to the markets and do your research to know what you can take those crap coins and turn those crap coins into. So, you know, that's kind of it's a skill, I guess. I don't know if it's a skill or... See, for me, all this stuff is like, this is something I really enjoy doing this. Oh, yeah, sure, Mr. Coop. Actually, I did one video already on how to get free coins. But yeah, for sure, I can tell you. There's actually a few different sources I use to get free coins. And if you guys want free coins or want me to show you how to do it, the best thing to do is I'm in Mr. Coop's Discord. So if one of you guys can drop a link for Mr. Coop's Discord, just in case people don't have it in chat, I'd appreciate it. Any of the mods. But I'm over there. I'm Big Dirty over there. Just hook up with me. Send me a PM. You're not going to upset me at all. And I will be more than happy to sit. I want to see people succeed. You know, no matter what the position you find yourself in right now, as bad as it might seem, and believe me, I understand it could seem really bad, right? From where you're looking at it. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can change what's going on in your life if you just put the effort into it. You don't have to have money to put into it. Just that effort, just the will to do it. So if you hook up with me on Discord, on Mr. Coop's Discord, just send me a PM. Don't blow up his Discord with a bunch of stuff. Send me a PM and I'll be more than happy to hook up with you and we'll go over it. I'll show you how to do it. And No cost at all. I'll never ask you for money again. So keep that in mind. If anybody ever comes at you with my name saying, hey, can you give me money? It's not me. It's a fake account, because I would never ever do that. But if you hook up with me on Discord, I'll be more than happy to show you how to make free crypto. You can bet. We'll take our time, get you through it until you feel comfortable with it. And you will. It won't take long before you're very comfortable with it. So, yeah, no problem, Coop. That was that was a few videos ago, but I'll do another one because, like I said, I have other sites too that I use. So, but definitely, if anybody wants it, hook up with me. Or if anybody wants any kind of help where they're stuck with anything financial wise, I'm pretty good at finances. So hit me up and maybe I can help you with that too. Stock market, whatever. There's a lot of different investment platforms I use. So. One thing that I do that a lot of times you have to be a accredited investor to do, and to be a accredited investor, you need over $1 million to be an accredited investor. But I have an investment platform that I use where I'm able to do a peer-to-peer loan with people and invest in upcoming construction stuff. So that's pretty cool. Make good money doing that. Well, if Mr. Coop ends up being a millionaire by Thanksgiving, he better let me know how he did it. I want to know that too. It takes a while, guys. It really does. That's another thing. People get into crypto with this idea that they're going to be a millionaire overnight. That ain't going to happen. It's going to take a lot longer than a night or a day. It could take flipping years. You might be setting your grandchildren up or your children up for future success. You know what I mean? But that's a good thing. That would be a good thing. I wish that I had a relative that had done that for me. But no, my relatives are all relatively poor. So, yeah. Let's see, what time are we? All right. So we're at 1:30 in the afternoon, my time, Central Time. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. But like I said, hook up with me in Discord if you ever need any help, and I'll be more than happy to. And we'll see you guys on another stream real soon. Look forward to seeing you all then. And thank you so much for coming by today. And thank you to Polly and Chris and Georgie for becoming mods for me. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Greg, for coming in. And we will see you all again soon.